Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Who knows where we will go, what video games we will play. This is a journey that no one has done before. Welcome to the world of games released at some time in June of 1982. And we last played Snark Hunt for the Atari home computer, and I highly recommend it. It is an ingenious puzzle game, a unique puzzle game, and it is executed very well. Let's press forward and see our next game. We're still going to be on our Atari home computer, and this is the SoftSide Adventure of the Month, number 13, Arrow 1. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, what about the other SoftSide Adventures of the Month? Well, SoftSide is one magazine that did text adventure games every month, and this wasn't the only magazine that did this. We've seen time and time again on the show, magazines have text games that you can type in to your computers and run them. We are not playing the gamut of every single text adventure game or every single game you could type in because we're mainly focused on commercial releases. I'm doing this one to show you there are a lot of text adventure games out there. If you thought we are playing a lot of text adventure games or, man, that guy really enjoys text adventure games, they're all the rage. This is one example and a very good one. That's why I wanted to showcase this one. So let's take a look at the artwork for adventure number 13, Arrow 1. You are Adam Trent, troubleshooter of the Federation of Space. You descend to an alien planet to make a horrifying discovery which impels you into a desperate and dangerous quest. This unique science fiction adventure will test your skills and ingenuity. Look at that face. That's the face we're going to make while we play the game. And there's the front of SoftSide, which we've seen this magazine before. It's been the front of the magazine that we've seen already. And here's what you'd see in the magazine if you flipped open to all the adventures. You can see there's the May, April, March, lots of those text adventures. There's the Jack the Ripper adventure, Arabian adventure, Alien adventure, tons of different ones to play. Yes, it does kind of look like it. Well, this wasn't the true cover. This was, you can see the picture for Arrow 1. And how did you get? You have to subscribe to the Adventure of the Month. With an example of a screenshot, let's pop it in play, or type it in play, Arrow 1 by SoftSide. It's sometime in June 1982. I guess as soon as you ordered it on the June issue of 1982. Then you got this one. We're going to get it fast and get it in play. Man, there's so many text adventure games we've seen so far. Yes, maybe it does. This game's terrible. An original science fiction tale, Arrow 1. It's been 3 years now. 3 years since your mission into deep space. Your name is Adam Trent, explorer, troubleshooter, and all-around good guy for the Federation of Space. Your journey aboard Arrow 1 has come to an end, an uncharted planet the Council asked you to explore. Slowly you descend around this strange new world looms larger and larger. Once just a speck in the black void of the universe, the Arrow 1 has landed. And I like how it's hit return, and there's a question mark. You discover that except for the atmosphere, this world is much like our own, but the air is still breathable. So you dismount on top of the high hill where the craft has come to rest. Far below is a jungle. To the right of the jungle is a city with a large desert beyond. Straight ahead to the north of the jungle is a sea, and in the far distance, another city. To the left is nothing but jungle. That would be the voice that's going on in my head when I read this kind of text adventure game, and that's what's kind of cool about this era of video games. Text adventure games, you were reading to yourself, so you were making up and envisioning the world you wanted to play in. Yes, it is very hard to go back to that. Suddenly you see a strange vehicle descending rapidly and disappearing into the treetops. So someone's just crashed. We're on the top of a hill and the exits are down. We can see Arrow 1, our ship. Let's go ahead and head down. D for down. We're now in the jungle. It shows us the exits, which is kind of nice. Okay, let's go ahead and go south. And we are lost in the jungle. Now, I hated text adventure games that did this. They plop you right in the maze. So that means you have to start making a map, and then, what is that? Baby Goomba? Baby Gooba, what is that? Look at Gooba. I don't even know if it'll look at it. Don't ask me, I don't know what it is either. Maybe they put it in as a joke. Okay. And we'll keep going, wandering around the jungle. And again, we're lost. See, it is putting us in an endless loop in the jungle. That's kind of like placing you in the middle of the maze that you have to find your way out or know how to escape. Just terrible. Opening. Well, at least we're back at the baby. Maybe we should go south again? Now I feel like they're looping and having fun with us. Yeah, I think they are. Maybe east again? South again? Yeah, it's like totally lost. I thought Goomba. What are you, a Goomba? It's a Gooba. Well, we are on an alien planet, so I guess that makes sense. Anything? No, we're still at the baby Gooba. Or it keeps looping back to the baby Gooba. Maybe it's east? and then south. No, it's doing this random. So when I tried the text adventure before the show, I was able to make my way out of the jungle, and I think it's just random that allows you to escape. Wow. And imagine if you had to type this in after typing it in, debugging the program, and then being able to play. It must have been amazing. Yes, it makes no sense when they put this in the very beginning. It's almost like they're saying, why do you want to play this? You don't want to play this. They're doing Jedi mind tricks on us. We made it to the crashed alien vessel. An alien astronaut lies dead on the ground beside his ship after being lost in the jungle right in the beginning of the game. Yes. Anything we find in items, we're going to eat them. I like your strategy. All right, so let's look at that alien that is on the ground. He's wearing a uniform. Okay, let's get uniform. Let's get it. Yes, that's a good point. Cheating like mad is an excellent strategy for text adventure games. Okay, we got it. Let's go ahead and wear that uniform. Okay, we're wearing the uniform. All right, let's go ahead and head north. We are at the Baby Gooba again. All right, let's go north again. And north again. And we're at a clearing. You're standing at the entrance of a doomed city of Ren. Its only entrance guarded by 2 burly aliens. Let's just keep going north. You're in the alien city. To the east is a library. To the west is a hen house. The path continues north. Okay, let's go. Oh, we have an alien beggar here as well. Nice touch for this kind of text adventure game quality to have these exits and showing what's happening on the screen. Okay, so the east and west are buildings. The north is a desert. Let's go ahead and head east. You're in a hall. Okay, and now let's go west. You're in a weightless room? Cool. Something's too heavy. Uh-oh, we're probably wearing too much. All right, let's drop our laser. That's what's weighing us down. Of course it is. Okay, laser dropped. All right, then something floats up, most likely the laser. We're in the, weightless room, nasty alien. Up you go to the top. And then we're floating and floating because we're now totally weightless. We're on the long catwalk. What do we want to do? So we floated all the way up. All right, let's go ahead and get the laser now. So we had to know that to remove all items, which is remove the laser that would float us all the way up in the weightlessness room. So we're on the catwalk. Let's go ahead and nasty alien. We need to shoot that alien if they show up. So let's go ahead and head east. We're at the east end of a long catwalk. Let's go ahead and head down. We're in a glass enclosed patio. A door west leads to a garden, and there is a nasty alien here. All right, so let's shoot him. And then as Victor recommended in the chat, oh, we got sound effects. Very rare for a text adventure game. As Victor in the chat said, let's try eating the alien. Eat alien. I don't know what eat alien means. Maybe can we get alien? Now that he's dead, can we pick him up? I don't think so. That's impossible to carry. Of course it is. So we can't eat the alien. Sorry, Victor. All right, so let's head to the next section, which is west. You're in a garden. Visible items are a Helky and a snarling alien dog. Man, imagine, we already have imagination when we're playing Atari games and home console games, but imagine the imagination you have to have playing a text adventure game when they say there's this is supposed to be visible. You don't even know what it is. We do have adventure games where they're adding some pictures, a little bit of sprinkling of graphics, but very, very little. Most of them are just like this. Yes. We need to try that one next. Can we do anything to the snarling alien dog? Well, let's get that crazy thing, the Helky. The Helky. Got it. Can we look? Can we examine Helky? Oh, no, I didn't want to type that one. Yeah, I know you don't. Of course you don't understand that. Helky. Usually examine. Oh, it doesn't understand examine in this text adventure game. So ignore that one. Okay, let's go ahead and head north. And we're back in the jungle. Oh, no. Go north again. We're in the clearing. Let's go. Oh, we're standing in the entrance of the city again. Okay, we'll go north. And we're in the alien city. Let's head west. We're in the hen house. We have a zippy bird. Man, they're making up all kinds of things for this one. All right, let's give Helky to the bird. Zippy didn't need to beg. Rewards you with a zippy egg. Get that egg. We're obviously following a walkthrough for this game, Arrow 1, but imagine having to do this and figure out these puzzles back in 1982 with no walkthrough. They gave you nothing. You had to make it in your head, tell your grandparents how to get help, tell your friends, just do whatever you can to find the answers. Oh, that's right. Yes, they should use these as context. That's a really good point. Now, if only we can... Now, just because... Teabag bird. I don't know. Of course you don't. Did anyone know what that meant in 1982? I don't think so. All right, so let's go, after we get the egg, let's head east. We're back in the alien city, and let's go south. Past the alien beggar, we're totally going to ignore them. We don't care. We're in the city. Let's go south again. We're back in the jungle. Let's go back south again, and we should have the baby gooba. That's right. So give the egg to the baby gooba. Okay. What does the baby gooba do now? Any sound effects? Oh, we have a teenage gooba now. It graduated from baby to teenage gooba. Oh, yes. That's true. I enjoy the logic text adventure games too. If they don't really have logic to it, I'm looking at you, United Kingdom. The text adventure games in the United Kingdom make no sense whatsoever. It's to the point that it's just asinine. At least the examples we've seen so far here on the channel. All right, we got a teenage baby gooba. Let's go ahead and head back north. Looks like we're going to be raising an animal in the beginning of this, but I'm just going to stop there. That was a brief taste of playing the text adventure game Arrow 1 on the Atari home computer. This one by SoftSide was not just on this computer. This was available on lots of the home computers at the time. Of all the text adventure games you could play at the time, I'm going to give it subpar. It's okay, but it's not really more amazing than any other ones. The text parser works all right, but I'm going to go 2.5 stars because these were not written as well and not have as much information as the other ones. They didn't have as many quality of life as the other text adventure games. So there you go. That's Arrow 1. Of all the games you could play on a home computer, I say 2.5 stars. Oh, that would be awesome. Yes, it would be great. All right, let's press forward and see our next game. It's time to go to the Commodore VIC-20 in the United Kingdom, and this is Space Rescue. Let's take a look at Space Rescue, starting with the box. Pilot your rescue craft through the asteroid belt and save a stranded crew. Very nice. So this is Sunlock. It says full high-res color graphics and superb sound. Unexpanded VIC-20, so don't have to use any more RAM for that. Let's see what other arc we have for Space Rescue. Everything's high-res now. There's the cassette tape we're going to pop in. Manchester, England is where this originated from, with an example of the screenshot. No manual, let's pop in the cassette tape and play Space Rescue by Tim Flanders. Published by Sunlock at sometime in June 1982. There we go. So we can use the keyboard to play on our Commodore VIC-20. Who in England had a Commodore VIC-20 at the time? I know whenever the Spectrum ended up coming out, it was landing on more and more households, filling up and helping people understand what a home computer was. But the Commodore VIC-20, I would like to know how many were actually there that people were playing. So we're supposed to land on the landing pad, dock with the mothership, avoiding and destroying, and we can use the joystick, so I got it plugged in. Let's go. This is another example of Lunar Rescue that we saw originally in the arcades, and this is another variant. Plenty of them we've seen. This one is very simple compared to the other ones. I am only moving the joystick left and right. I can't believe I got the first one through. It's very, very difficult because you have to time. See the ship going across? Yeah, the ship goes across the screen so fast. You see, as soon as you push the button, you drop down, land on the pad, and there is no really control for making it feel like it's a lunar lander game. All I did was just drop. I didn't have to use exhaust at all. The only goal is avoid the asteroids. That's it. So I'm just moving left and right. Don't have to worry about thrusting, using retro rockets or any of that. And then whenever you're ready to go, push the button again, get back up, and make it to the spacecraft. It was great in the arcade. It works well here. Well enough. I could argue the frame rate and tile-based gameplay is a little rudimentary, but honestly, it's not that bad. We have seen the VIC-20 perform much better than this, and we have seen better Lunar Rescue games than this one. Yeah, there we go. Oh, really? So it did sell a fair bit. Very interesting. Yeah, that's true. We are looking at a lot of magazines and ads that come out, magazines specifically in the United States, but we haven't looked at any magazines that are in the United Kingdom. Of course, they exist. There's plenty of publications as well. Very nice. Move on to the next level. Have a blast with that. Yeah, so honestly, this is the most simplified Lunar Rescue variant we've seen, where you don't have to worry about the retro rockets, and as far as firing vertically, it really doesn't make a difference because you go so fast. You really just need to move left and right and make it to the pad. Oh, this isn't going to go over well. Did I I just land back on the pad? Wow, see, there you go. Yep, it's more moving left and right and dodging everything. All right, we do check out magazine ads and little blurbs that I can find when we get to individual games. But as far as reading an entire magazine, we haven't really seen anything in the UK yet. We'll be seeing some later, but I'm primarily focusing on when we read a whole magazine, it's by Atari or from North America. I did have magazines in Japan and articles in Japan, but because I don't know how to read Japanese, I wasn't showcasing and reading the entire magazine. But there's some cool stuff still from there. Oh, you can put your name in? No way. That's awesome. All right, so that's Space Rescue for the Commodore VIC-20. That is an all right time for 1982. It has the mechanics of Space Lunar Rescue. So I'd say of all the games we've played on a home computer, I'd say 3 stars, average for the time. Works very, very well. Doesn't push anything above or beyond anything we've seen so far. And with that, let's press forward and see our next game. Oh man, here's an interesting one. This is Star Chess for the Emerson Arcadia 2001, also known as Space Chess, and depending on what region you're in. So let's take a look at Star Chess, starting with the box. The Emerson Arcadia 2001. Wait a second, that artwork looks like they ripped it off of another one by Arcadia. That's the same Millennium Falcon and TIE Fighter, or I'm sorry, Snowspeeder from Star Wars and TIE Fighter that we've seen before, but they're having them fight over a chessboard. So amazing. Oh, yes, that's right. There is on the archive. I've seen the magazines. There's plenty of them. A lot of them are the reason why I get these releases for the Commodore VIC-20. I'm looking at those. I'm just not showcasing them on the channel. Let's flip the box over for Star Chess. This is a reconstructed one. Didn't get the actual scans. It's the final Intergalactic Chess Championships. And it's not exactly what you think. You think we're going to play chess, but it's really not quite like that. Let's take a look at the other artwork for Star Chess. Besides the box, this one has an interesting history. It was originally a dedicated console that was in 1979, and there it is. The original Star Trek chess was published by VideoMaster. And what you see here is 2 separate controllers, which have the movement for the cursor with the cross, and then everything you can do as the 2 players on the chessboard. But it was invented to not play like chess. It was invented to be a shooter or an attack-style game. So Star Chess has the board like chess, and the pieces move like chess, but they actually fire and can shoot across the board. It is a really bizarre idea, and crazy that this came out in 1979. And I have an example of when it was released in 1979 at the trade show. All I can say from this picture of the trade show is it looks like a lion is about to eat that small child. But there it is, that's Star Chess, as it was in 1979. There's the example of the screenshot we're going to play, and this is the only known port of that dedicated console to any other platform. This is the only other way you could play Star Chess. So, does it live up to the hype? Let's see. The manual I found is not the scan. I couldn't find the actual scan on the Emerson Arcadia 2001. This is the best I can do to give us instructions to how to play Star Chess. Yeah, the idea is really nice. It shows you how to power in, and then this one you have to have an overlay to play on your Arcadia 2001 to cover those number pads and know what to do. There's the controls. You can see you have the cursors to move around. You can move, report, warp, fire, and then you have the activate button. After you pick one of the move, report, or fire, you push the activate button to execute. Star Chess is a game of fun strategy for 2 players. It's based on the well-known game of chess, but your chessmen are spaceships engaged in galactic warfare. Move your spaceships similar to those moving chessmen in chess. Instead of capturing pieces in chess, you can weaken or even destroy your opponent's spaceships by firing missiles at them. To win the game, you have to destroy or capture your opponent's commander or the king. Each spaceship is equipped with a certain number of missiles, 2 to 7, and a certain number of shields, 2 to 7. The missiles are used to attack, and the shields will protect spaceships from attackers. So how do you play this game? Well, first get the cartridge in, power it on, make sure your overlay is over the controller, because if you don't have the overlay, you're going to be lost. When the game begins, you just push start on the console. The Emerson Arcadia 2001 was similar to the Atari VCS and most consoles at the time. It had the options and start on the console. And then you have one side, which is the green spaceships, and another side, which is the yellow spaceships. And it has a cursor that's a little pixel that you move left and right to move your pieces around. Yeah, yes. No, it is not wrong. There's a lot of consoles that I'm looking at the chat at Mark's, because there's consoles we've found that I didn't know about or hear about. There's one that I'd really be interested to have myself, which is the Creativision. So there's so much out there that I wasn't even aware of, and this would be another one. So we have the Starbase, which occupies the Commander and the Queen. They kind of blend them together. That's your armory for your spaceships, and you can go there to replenish missiles and shields. So you actually move units back to the King and Queen to replenish shields and missiles. And then to move your spaceship, you move the cursor or the little pixel around the board, select the unit you want to move, and then move it to a certain spot. And it relies on the same rules as chess. So if you want to move the knight, you have to know it moves, 1 over and then 3 up. So then you push the activate button to move. But here's the kicker. You don't attack like chess. You don't move a piece and attack the same way. You actually can fire missiles anywhere you get close to. And the closer you have pieces to other units, that's more of a probability they're going to get an attack. When a missile is released from your spaceship, the bullet firing goes from the spaceship to the enemy ship. If you're 1 square away, you have a 95% chance to hit your target. If you're 7 squares away, you only have a 66% chance you'll hit the target. If you miss, the missile will explode on one of the 8 squares surrounding the target, which means you could damage your own ships. And then whenever you hit your target, it doesn't mean it's going to be destroyed. That means whenever you try to blow up another unit on the chessboard, it's a chance it won't blow up. It'll have to keep firing to finally clear it away. After firing has ceased, an explosion will be shown on the screen. 1 explosion shows you have weakened your target. 2 explosions means you've destroyed it. The spaceship will disappear from the screen after it's been destroyed. If all missiles that you selected for the attack have been used up, you'll automatically miss a turn and you'll have to move on to the next one, which means you have to go back to the King and Queen to replenish your missiles. You can also push the review button to see the strength of your starship, and you can also warp if you want to get your units to move in different places. So it's the bare minimum of what a chess game is, but it's totally different than that. And then whenever you get a checkmate, it means you've lost the commander or the king on the board by firing and attacking them. And there you go. If that sounds confusing, I totally understand. It's going to get even more confusing when we boot it up. Let's pop it and play Star Chess. By Peter Gibbler originally in 1979 and UA Limited for the Arcadia 2001. Oh my gosh. All right, push the start button on our system and we are in. We have both controllers because this is not an artificially intelligence game that we can't play against the computer. So whenever we want to play, we actually do not even work the joystick. The joystick isn't even programmed for this. You have to use everything on the overlay or the number pad and know which buttons based on what the manual says to play. No, this is not an early precursor of Archon. This is something completely different. I've only known, like I said, the original 1979 and this one, and there's nothing that's been done similar to this ever. And this is probably why. So I'm going to explain how we play. I'm on the left side, and as I move myself around, this is the cursor that you use to select your unit. So, like, for example, if I want to move this pawn, which looks like a ship, I select this one, and then I push activate, and it moves the pawn. My turn's up, and now the second player now moves their cursor and wants to move their pawn. So if I want to move this pawn, I move it over to the side, and then I activate, and this pawn follows the rules of chess. It doesn't work with the pawn moving 2. It only lets the pawn move 1 at a time. So I want to move the pawns closer to one another. Just for brevity, move it quick to here. And it's so confusing, by the way, having to use everything on the number pad. There is no joystick to move this cursor around. Even the buttons on the sides of the Emerson Arcadia 2001, they don't work. They're all programmed. So you're literally playing with your friend like on the number pad only. Very, very bizarre. Okay, so we got both pieces next to each other. Now, I'm going to attempt to fire on the other ship. So you're thinking to yourself, wait a second, you're a pawn. Pawns are supposed to attack diagonally. It doesn't work that way. It's just within proximity. And then whenever you're ready, you fire and it attacks. And you see if you blow them up, there's a 95% chance it's going to hit. Let's see. Looks like, okay, we got a hit and it hit the other ship, but the ship's not dead. That means you have to keep going until they attack. So I'm going to go again with my second player. Let's have them attack. Let's go there. And let's go there and there. And now the second player is attacking the pawn, and we'll see if that makes the hit. This is very, very slow, very, very clunky, and I've seen, of all the chess games we've seen up to this point, the best way to play a chess game is how quickly it's going to load and be able to calculate, especially if you're playing against the computer. This game slows it down because they're adding elements like firing shields and so forth, and it's an excellent idea, but the execution is just terrible. The control is terrible to move around over the interface, and then the actual game itself, it isn't a joy to play. I'd rather play chess. It does not improve chess. So, you can see here we have our next unit that's allowed to move more. So if I wanted to, I can move, let's move this one like right up next to him and attack or finish the move. You see the ship moves closer, and then they got really lucky on my last hit. So let's see if the pawn wants to try to attack again. And like I said, you don't follow the attack rules of chess, you only follow the movement rules. So that means this pawn can go in and attack the castle, which I'm sure they have another name for the ship here. But see how long the attack mode takes? It's just forever. This kind of reminds me of a later release by Software Toolworks where they make chess and they animate the characters and they fight, but it just takes a long time to play the game, so it's not really a joy to play. And this game is the same idea. So that was just a brief example of what Star Chess is like. It's bad. It's too bad because it's such a cool idea, but it's just not executed very well. If the interface was better or someone brought this back or remastered it, it would work. It'd be a cool idea, but no one has heard or seen this game since this release in 1982. Hey, welcome Jeff Quest. All right, so sadly for Star Chess, I'm going to say it's a bad game considering every other game we've seen thus far. 2 stars, and another reason why the Arcadia 2001 just didn't last. All right, so after Star Chess, let's see what our next game is. It's time to see our sponsor by Activision. Oh, there we go. Coming home in 1982. Oh yeah, show the Starmaster. That's right. Whoa.
At last, what you've never seen, never heard, never
Pupils
felt
are dilated.
in a video game. Chart and challenge. Warp, but wait. Fight and fight again. Retreat to refuel.
He probably popped some acid before he played this game.
And be blasted right out of your senses. For the Atari video computer system, Starmaster by Activision.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's time for Starmaster by Activision. I am really excited to show this one off, and I'm actually surprised. This one is a kind of a one-to-one recreation of Star Raiders that was originally on the Atari home computer, but Activision did it before they got Star Raiders for the Atari VCS. So here it is. It's like you're getting to play Star Raiders, but before Atari makes an official Star Raiders for the VCS. Let's take a look at the box for Starmaster. As usual, we got the awesome rainbow by Activision. Yeah, very, very nice. It kind of explains what you're getting into. Space combat from a first-person perspective looks really nice. Let's flip it over on the back. Conceived and designed by Alan Miller. Way to go, Alan. For one Starship Commander at a time, prepare to leave behind the world as you know it. You are the controls of the most sophisticated and powerful space video game ever designed. Ever. We'll see about that. Cruising through the blackness of deep space, you call up the galactic chart on your monitor. Radar reveals enemy starfighters closing in on one of the star bases you are sworn to protect. Fire up the engines and warp into hyperspace. Stars and meteor showers streak by as you enter an enemy sector. And that's true. I love the warp in this whenever we play the game. And the commercial obviously ranks it up to 11, showing things fly past and the colors like it's 2001: A Space Odyssey. Let's see what other art we have for Starmaster. Besides the box, we have the, as usual, crusty and then reconstructed, beautifully old, beautifully new. And after the, if you go through the box, this is the ad you'd see in magazines at the time. Activision really knows how to market a game, and they are hitting on all marks here. Love it. Most demanding video game of its kind. Offers challenge and sophistication you've never thought possible on the Atari video computer system. And this, if you were to enter the ranks of Activision's high scores, you'd get this patch in the mail of the Supreme Starmaster. I never got any patches. Let me know if you got this one in the chat. And then after the patch, we also have the cartridge we're going to pop in. They explain the games. We have 4 different games, which is the level of difficulty that you can flip on your system. And we also have just a few screenshots. Here's the manual for Starmaster. If you've never played this one, it's not, like they said, the bare minimum of most Atari games. This one goes above and beyond, making it a really big affair. This is kind of like an Intellivision release of how detailed this is. You are alone in space. A critical and difficult mission awaits you. Carefully read these instructions and commit them to memory. Then study the Power of Starmaster. It will help you instruct you in the ways of advanced space combat. Then perhaps someday you can attain the level of Supreme Starmaster. Oh, if only I could be a Supreme Starmaster. So they give the pilot briefing next. Protecting starbases by destroying all invading enemy starfighters before they destroy you or your star bases is essentially Star Raiders that was originally on the Atari home computers. And of course that was based on Star Trek games that we had seen, and we've seen plenty of Star Trek variants as well. To accomplish your mission, you have to use the least amount of energy, sustain the least damage, and you'll be rewarded. Fail and you'll be destroyed. The destiny of the galaxy is in your hands. Of course it is. So first you hook up your video game system, power it off, put the cartridge in, power it on, plug that controller in. The difficulty switches you won't need to use, or they call them skill levels on the Sears system, and you don't have to move those during the gameplay. However, this is one of the very first Atari VCS games where you can flick the black and white and color switch to change things in the game. So you no longer have a color black and white switch. However, I will attest to, I still had a black and white television at the time, so I was using that. So consult with the line of mission control or MACC information at the bottom of the screen. Select the game level when the game begins, and you can see we got Ensign Leader, Wing Commander, that has a nice ring to it, and Starmaster. The adventure begins by pressing reset as usual on the Atari VCS. Start your mission. The ship will be cruising through an empty sector of the galaxy. You have to seek out the enemy and race at warp speed to meet and destroy them. So it is almost like we played Space Spartans and a few other ones on other home consoles. So this one isn't the first of its kind, but as far as the Atari VCS, it is one of the first of its kind. There's only one other game we played that was for the Sears telegame system that was like a Star Trek variant. I wouldn't say it was as fun as this. This is a lot more fun. During the course of your mission, you'll use 4 distinct modes: the galactic chart analysis, warp travel, engaging the enemy, and docking with a starbase. There's the example of the screenshot they give, which I argue it's not a real screenshot. But it shows the starbase, your ship. Enemy starfighters are the little pixels, and then your MACC is really important to show your energy. Yes. Oh, that's true. The mini comic, right. We haven't seen the Atari one yet, but yeah, I want to make sure we can see the comic. That's great. Display the ship's galactic chart, moving the color black and white switch on your game system. So to go from the game, the chart to warp everywhere, you actually flick the color and black and white switch on the Atari VCS. You have the radar and sector analysis. The plus is where you are. The star bases are indicated by this ship-looking symbol. And then we have the white blips, 36 sectors of the galaxy shown on the radar. This is another game on the Atari VCS that I had played when I was younger, but I popped it in and had no idea what to do. Because if you don't have the manual and you don't have any information or magazines telling you how to play, you are going to be lost with this one. Oh, graphic novel too? Oh, I need to be able to check that one out. I didn't know about the graphic novel. All right, so we have the MACC information, which is always displayed below at the galactic chart. It shows you your game level, energy required, star date, energy remaining, and then damage control. And we have on the computer panel, the green is if we're flying into an empty sector, red is occupied by enemy starfighters, and blue is if it has a star base. And then so you go to the chart, you select what you want, and then you push the red button on your VCS joystick, and you just warp there. Once you warp, it goes through a warp section where meteors may be flying at you, and you got to use your laser sight and shoot them, blow them up, make sure you don't get hit. Each laser that hits your ship drains 100 to 500 units of energy from your shields and could result in greater damage to your ship. During warp travel, the MACC will provide energy and damage control status. And then when you get to the place where you want to warp, you will engage the enemy, which is essentially space combat. First-person perspective, let's shoot, use our target reticle, and blow them out of the sky. And then, yeah, you use the red button to joystick and fire. It works great. It's really simple and easy to play with. And we have damage control status. This tells you what is down. And whenever I had played, I remember seeing next to the D, L, S, W, and R all the time because everything was down. Lasers, shields, warp engines, and radar. But it tells you down below what you have destroyed. And if you do, warp out of there, get to a starbase so you can heal everything up. We have energy reserves down at the bottom too. How do you dock at a starbase? You go back to the galactic chart, which is pushing the black and white and color switch on your VCS, and then warp to a starbase. And once you're docked, you pilot your ship to the ship's sights connecting the orbiting starbase. And then if you're docked, it just happens automatically. You get energy replenished, and your all damage will be repaired. Easy peasy. Oh yes, definitely supports this, at least to my knowledge. Enemy starfighters are constantly trying to surround and destroy your star bases. Only you can prevent this from occurring. When the enemy succeeds in destroying a starbase, an explosion is heard no matter where your ship happens to be at the time, and the starbase disappears from the galactic chart. Your mission ends when all the ships are destroyed, or you run out of energy and your mission's over. And then they have an evaluation giving at the end of the game, showing you points and what you did during your time. And then you could be a Starmaster. And then, of course, yeah, if you have the training, you can order the Supreme Starmaster like the patch we showed earlier. But that is not all. Besides the different versions of Starmaster in Europe and North America, we also have the Power of Starmaster, which if you've played enough of the game, they recommend this is for experienced players only, giving you even more tips and tricks. Yes, study, master, believe. The power can be yours. Wait a second, that tagline sounds really familiar. The power can be yours. So they break down a lot more information about the MACC displayed on the screen, damage control, what that all means, how to be better shooting down enemy ships, and then strategy to be a Supreme Starmaster, how to engage the enemy. So this has even more information, really, really helpful if you had that. And then, of course, at the end, Activision always gives credit to the developer. There's Alan Miller. Look at him in a nice suit and jacket. Alan Miller, senior designer at Activision, a fierce video game competitor. He's also the designer of checkers, tennis, and ice hockey, which we've seen all three of those. It's a game that requires mastery of a wide variety of skills to achieve the best performance, careful analysis of all information, good strategic planning, the skilled control of a master pilot, and accurate marksmanship in the heat of battle are all needed to succeed. Many of us at Activision have practiced long hours to reach the level of Supreme Starmaster. Wait, there's people at Activision that are Supreme Starmasters? I hope you enjoyed the challenge. Please drop me a note and report on your missions. I'd love to hear from you. You got it. All right, it's time to pop in and play Starmaster by Alan Miller at sometime in June 1982 by Activision. There you go. We have the opening of 2001: A Space Odyssey. I think that's the third time we've heard the opening of that song. So the way this game begins in a track, well, not really an arcade track mode, but like Atari games, it just boots up and does something, and it's doing the warp drive. Then when we're ready to play, we can also push the select, and you see it's changing our skill. That's Wing Commander, Ensign level, and then Starmaster. We're going to go on. You can see how much it changes, too. How many enemies are there, and how many star bases you have. We're going to go with the Ensign level, and then when I push start, it starts us in empty space. We just fly around. Check out how this works. The control is like a joystick in a cockpit. So whenever I pull down on the joystick, it lifts up. When I pull up on the joystick, it goes down. It feels really nice and looks really good the way the star field plays out. All right, so and then when you want to go to the star chart, you have to push the button for black and white or color. So the first thing we're going to do, let's go to an easy sector right here that has only one enemy, and let's fly there, just pushing our red button. Here we go. Asteroids are coming at us. Oh, they were really easy just on the asteroid. So warp is done. Now we're going to look for any enemies flying around. We got something coming at us there. The sound right here is so cool. I always love the sound of the engines that they did for this game. It's emulated and copied on lots of later releases on the VCS. Did we get everybody? Is that it? Is that all we came for? I don't see any ships right now. All right, we'll warp back out. Let's see. Yeah, we did it. That was it, with just one to blow up. All right, let's go somewhere a little harder. Let's go here and warp. We're using up energy, so you have to be quick about it, warping around the galaxy. Oh, and they got one. I think that one got us. Okay, so we're here. Let's see if we can find some enemy aircraft. Fly into this one at the top. Yeah, there's one. You can see we got damage on their shield, which isn't good. I'm going to try to hang in and see if any more show up. There we go. The control is so smooth for a space combat game, and we played lots of them on home computer, consoles, arcade. It's excellent. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and switch out of here. Yeah, we did it. Cleared the galaxy. Let's go for repair, so we'll go to a base, and let's go to a nearby base and warp. Pop the acid tabs and get psychedelic. So cool. Oh, I was trying to dodge it. Shields are down again. Oh. That was a fatal hit? I don't believe it. Now they're probably going to give us the rating at the end, a score, right? I think that was it. The second hit, after we already had shields down, we were supposed to avoid the asteroid. So, yeah, that's it. We've already finished the... we got the taps playing. So let's go ahead and go start again. Go to harder section. Let's go to these guys. They look pretty tough. You know, you can avoid the asteroid, just get out of the way. Otherwise, line up a shot and fire. All right, we're here in enemy space. There we go. Any more? I know we saw 3 ships, or three blips. There's another one. Got a piece of this. Got him. Man, it feels good. And you have to remember, Star Wars and Star Trek are out, and this makes you feel like you're in there, man. We're here. We're in space. Being able to make plenty of noises we wouldn't make in actual space. All right, I think that was 2 ships. Where's the third? I know I saw. No, we're good. We cleared them. Yeah, very nice. So no damage. You can see on our screen showing all the stats on the MACC. Let's go and move over here to this area of space and warp. All right, of all the games we played on a home console, I would consider this an excellent video game. Would you consider this one of the best video games that you can play on a home console, or is this merely a great or excellent game? Starmaster is exceptional, and bear in mind, we have not played Star Raiders for a home console. This is the second of its kind to be like this. All right, so still no damage. We're looking pretty good. Let's move over here. Of every game you can play on the home console, I'm going to say this is one of the best video games you could play. For all the home consoles out there. It has a great mix of strategy and action. Because of how well they programmed the battle mode, that's one of the main draws is why how it's so good. Oh. Go. No damage still. We got plenty of hits, but nothing went down. That's nice. That's a very good point. We first saw Star Raiders, the original, 1979, I believe. Yes, yeah. And whenever I played the 1979 one, I don't know if you want to see the link down below. I was blown away. It was like a breath of fresh air. Like, what is this? This is beyond any other video game. So there you go. That's Starmaster. Of all the games you could play on a home console, it is one of the best games. I'm going to go 4.5, maybe 5 stars. If you twist my arm, because if you look at the releases of every game that could come out and you've ever played for the Atari VCS, this is on the list of one of the best ones. I'm going to go 4.5 stars for Starmaster. An excellent one. All right, so after Starmaster, let's see where we're going now. It's time to go on the TRS-80 Coco, and this is Starship Chameleon. Let's take a look at Starship Chameleon, starting with the box, or a fabricated box. We have a sticker in the top right that says it's also for the TDP-100 system. What in the world? Are we playing as the lizard guy from... we look like the alien from... now I totally forgot the name of the movie. The movie where you play as the arcade gamer and that plays the game so well that he gets recruited to play video games for real. Kind of like Polybius was. The Last Starfighter. Thanks, Steve. That looks just like the guy from Last Starfighter. All right, let's take a look at the artwork we have for Star Chameleon. We also have the ad that you would have seen in, I think, the Rainbow at the time. It's giving you some information about this Where is the info for us? Oh, there it is in the center. And then we also have the cartridge that it was also available for, and some more ads that you would have seen for Starship Chameleon. Oh, that's right. Yeah, this is a good twist on Kaboom. And one last one, Starship Chameleon for the color computer. Oh no, another semi-intelligent aerial bomb. Oh, that was the preview. Very nice. Yeah, we also have the manual for Starship Chameleon. This is by Computerware. Kim Kalish did this one. You're the Starship Chameleon, a special intergalaxian vessel with the assignment of protecting the planet below from capability to change color at the push of a button in order to destroy the oncoming super bombs and antimatter bombs that have been launched by the enemy Glabalatox above. But watch out for the semi-intelligent aerial bombs. They hone on your every move, seeking to destroy you. There are 5 types of bombs. There they are, with all the point values. Player 1 ship is controlled by the right joystick and player 2 by the left. You do not play simultaneously. This is an alternatively played game. Your ship cannot withstand contact with antimatter. However, you can change the state of the matter with a joystick and then back again with another press. It should be noted that sometimes even turning into antimatter will not save the chameleon. Life is always full of risks. What? You can be destroyed by contact with an opposite colored bomb or its debris, no matter what color you are. The red mines can destroy you, but reward with extra ship every 10,000 points. If the phone rings, you can press the P key to pause the game. That's right, pausing is awesome. And plus, play begins when pressing 1 or 2 players and then asked to select a skill level. Very, very nice. We hope you enjoy Star Chameleon as much as we do. And then they have the information about Computerware. Very nice. And the license, warranty. Beautiful, and loading instructions, as usual. Let's pop in and play Starship Chameleon by Ken Kalish of Computerware, or published by Computerware at sometime in June 1982. Here we go. Let's get our starship on. I'm feeling so soothed and relaxed with this green screen. Thank you, Coco. Here we go. Yes. Bring on the sound effects. I want more and more sound effects, more and more music, more and more loudness in our games. All right, so I'm not going to go 2 players because it wouldn't make a difference. It's just alternate play. Push a number 1. Let's go skill level 7. I'm feeling lucky tonight. So this controls very, very well with the Coco joystick. Now, on first glance, you think, oh, you're playing a fixed shooter. And so when I first played this, I was doing this. I just kept doing this and thinking, where's my shots? My shots aren't working. Why is my character not shooting? Well, obviously, if you read the manual, you see you have to change the color of your character from yellow to blue. And then if you're yellow, you can touch the yellow. And if you're blue, you can touch the blue. So it's essentially like we're playing Avalanche, or more likely Kaboom on the Atari VCS, but with a twist, and a very good one at that. In a way, this is like the precursor to Ikaruga in the arcades, but that's not going to happen until like the year 2000, which is so far in the future, I can't even think of that. Is that it? Oh, we already get the... Okay, we're back. You can switch it up and pick a different skill level, but this is awesome. It's a refreshing take on Kaboom and Avalanche by having you switch the colors out and only blow up that certain color. Oh, 1 or 2. Okay, so because this was, I guess, too crazy if we do the higher levels. I knew you would, Victor. I knew if it's a bullet hell shooter, it looks so similar. But man, this one looks really nice. Can we switch up the level now? No, they won't let us do it like that. So we have to stay with 7, at least for this round. But man, if you liked Kaboom, you probably never even heard of this one. This is so cool. The only thing I have to say is Kaboom felt satisfying because if you caught everything, it felt like you were accomplishing something. But this one, you have so much that gets past you that it feels like you're missing out on it. All right, so let's try it again. Let's go 1. No, it's just going to stay on 7. That means we have to load back again. But still an excellent idea. Yeah, every time the bomb hits the bottom, our score goes down, so you have to be really, really good with catching this. But see, there's no way on these difficulty levels to catch it all. So I can understand you want to start on levels 1 and 2 to show it off rather than this, because there's so much that's going to fall. Look at how the score keeps fluctuating. Yes. Yeah, it makes sense now. Gosh, yeah, that would be insane to do. Yeah, level 7 is way too hard. But the idea of being able to switch back and forth with colors is excellent. Every now and then I want to try a hard skill level to see how fast or crazy it'll go, and that's no exception. So there you go, that's Starship Chameleon. Of all the games we played on a home computer, that's a pretty cool game. Very fun. I'm going to give it 3.5 stars of all the games you could play, maybe even 4, because of the mechanic is pretty fresh. I'll go 3.5 stars for Starship Chameleon of all the games you could play on a home computer up to this point. And don't look at level 7 as the basis. Just the idea that you're playing Kaboom, you can switch the color of yourself back and forth. Nice touch. So after Starship Chameleon, let's see where we're going now. We're still on the Coco. It's time to play Star Trek. Have you ever heard of Star Trek? It's this revolutionary new strategy game that we played probably 20 times on the channel. And this is no exception. Let's take a look at Star Trek, also known as Trek 16. Starting with the artwork. We have color computer software, Tom Mix software, with an example of the grid you could have made yourself. An outstanding adventure with screen display. Journey through space aboard the Starship Enterprise with all the familiar characters. This is not by C. Roslin, and is not for this adventure is by C. Roslin and is not for the amateur. They're right. Most Star Trek games you have to be in the strategic mode. Oh, more than 20? If we played more than 20 Star Trek variants, it requires the cunning of Captain Kirk and the logic of Mr. Spock. You only need 16K for this. That's pretty nice. It's a C-load to run. Complete instruction set is included with the program. Happy trekking. Very nice. There's the cassette we're going to pop into play. Star Trek or Trek 16 with an example of the screenshot. Let's play Star Trek by Charles J. Rosland. Tom Mix software at sometime in June 1982. I believe we're just going to load Trek 16 to pop this up. Yes, let's go. Engage. I'm ready for another Star Trek game. At this point, what we should do, since we're going to play so many Star Trek games, is save our progress on one game and then continue that progress on the next game. And as we work our way through all the Star Trek games, we'll eventually finish a whole game. All right, so pick your skill level. You got Novice, Fair, Good, Expert, and Emeritus. What? I would love to just try Emeritus because it's a level of difficulty I've never seen before, but we're going to go Novice. So I'm pushing 1 for Novice. Generating the Galaxy. Please wait. That's true, but there'll still be no green women or Gorns, at least for any Star Trek game. These are fan games. These weren't endorsed or made by Star Trek. All right, so what command do we want? You can see, obviously, where we are in the galaxy, displayed by the short-range scan and the long-range scan. If we do L for long-range, no, doesn't like that. Short-range. Oh, shields. Change the shield status. No, we don't want to do that. Change shield energy. No, we don't. We don't do that. Okay, so if you haven't seen this before, you pick commands. It's a menu-based game where you pick commands to decide the actions of the Star Trek Enterprise. And you move around different parts of the galaxy. So if I want to say move, let's do R displacement. No. C? Oh, I'm going to say Helmsman Sulu. Aye, sir. Let's go north. Or east. Wait, west. New warp factor. Let's do warp factor 2. Engineer Scotty. Yeah, they're putting in, that's a nice touch, putting in the actual people that are going to be on this the Enterprise. All right, so next thing I want to do a scan. But what was my, is it LR? LS to scan? No. Usually you can pull up a list of commands to play or what the commands are in the game. And we've seen other Star Trek games or Star Trek variants that allow you to see what you need to type in to go to different places. But let's go ahead and do, yes. Oh no, they didn't know the quadrant to go to. But essentially you make your way around the galaxy, finding where the Klingons are, destroying all the Klingons without dying. Oh, let's try that one. Help. Help. No, still not showing the commands. List. Nope. What about just enter? Q. No, W's for warp. I'm familiar with most of them for the Star Trek games. Warp, shields, moving, attacking, go on red alert, and things of that nature. So we're warp factor 2, showing the time, and then you can see on the left side it's showing where the Enterprise is with the E, and then I'm guessing the Klingons are the 2-star locations, and then you make your way to that area space, you blow them up, but this is the kind of Star Trek game that will not allow you to have animation or firing. So we just went from Starmaster on the VCS or other space combat games that allow you actually to move around and shoot. This does not. You just go there, and then an event happens, and that's it. It works its way out. Oh, R and C, M, and then row and column. Okay, so if we want to go to row and column, let's go 1, 3, comma 3, maybe? Aye, sir. Sulu, let's go. Wait, so why did we go, if we went row, column 3, why did our Enterprise move? We're at 5, 7? Emergency stop at sector 5, 7. Why? Why do we have to do an emergency stop? Let's go. I want to move all the way. Maybe because we're out of energy? Let's try row 6, 8. So 6, 8. But the course will take us out of the galaxy. Just do it. Okay, he's not going to do it. All right, I'll just do that brief taste of Star Trek on the TRS-80 color computer. At least this variation of Star Trek. It's not the last one on the Coco. It's not the last one ever we'll see on the channel. Of all the games you could play on a home computer, we played better Star Trek variants that have even more to this game than... I know it's low resolution, but as far as functionality, I'm going to say it's a subpar one, 2.5 stars. And thinking of all the games you could play, you also have to be in a mindset of a strategy game, not just any game at the time. Oh, I see. We were about to hit a star. Gotcha. Oh, Errol's thrown out 3. Very nice. Yeah, it is fairly average for the time. Considering the other average Star Trek variants, though, I'm going to go 2.5 stars of everything you could play on a home computer. All right, so that is Star Trek, and that is where we sadly have to put our video game playing on pause this evening. So many more games to play in June of 1982 and then beyond. Join me next time and let me know if you see these games and want to rate them on our 5-star rating scale in the comments. That's it for today, and like I always say, if Mom says it's time to go outside and play, then you got to find a way to get that Atari and television outside. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are Perpetually Retro, and we will catch you next time.